Okay. Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about features of microeconomics. This is very important question for examination point of view. So, according to examination point of view, there will be this question will be asked for 3 or 4 marks. So you have to read at least 3 to 4 points. Okay. So first of all, we will learn first feature of microeconomics. So on the basis of definition, we can explain features of microeconomic. हमने definition earlier वीडियो में आप देख सकते हो, उसमें मैंने बताया था what is microeconomics, what is scope of microeconomics. On the basis we can explain features of microeconomics. Study of individual units. So when we are going to study particular individual unit, that is called microeconomics. Microeconomics में हम पर्टिकुलर वन यूनिट के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल पर्टिकुलर कंज्यूमर के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, पर्टिकुलर सेलर के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. यानी स्टडी एरिया इज ओनली वन यूनिट. So micro means small. So when we are going to study about individual unit, individual price, individual household, that is called microeconomics. अगर यूनिट एक है तो उसका मतलब ये है कि this is related to microeconomics. Second is price theory. This is also very important point according to your examination point of view, because this question may be asked like this. Microeconomic theories are known as price theory. So when we are going to learn microeconomics, the core area of microeconomics that how particular commodities price is going to be determined. Market में अगर कोई चीज़ की price अगर decide होती है, for example this is mobile. What is the price of this mobile? 10,000. So how it is going to be decide? Demand और supply. Demand कितनी है और supply कितना है. On the basis of that, that goods price is going to be decided. For example, the price of bookkeeping and accountancy. What is the price of bookkeeping and accountancy? That is 212. So how this price is going to be decided? Demand or supply. These two things are very important. So to decide, to determine the particular commodities price. So microeconomic deal determination of price of goods and services as well as factor of production. So I already explained you that there are basically 4 factor of production. Factor of production, there are how many factor of production? 4 है. कौन से है? लैंड है, लेबर है, कैपिटल है और एंटरप्रेन्योर है. एंड द रेम्युनरेशन इज आल्सो वी मस्ट नो दैट व्हाट इज द रेम्युनरेशन. द रेम्युनरेशन ऑफ लैंड इज रेंट. द रेम्युनरेशन ऑफ लेबर इज the remuneration of land is rent. The remuneration of labor is wages. The remuneration of capital is interest. The remuneration of entrepreneur or organizer is profit. So we have to explain this point in detail, because this question may be asked for 2 marks. So you have to explain in detail. Okay. Now point number 3, that is price partial equilibrium. Equilibrium is the balance between two factor. Microeconomic analysis deal partial equilibrium analysis, which analysis equilibrium position of individual economic unit, individual consumer, individual firm, individual industry. It isolate an individual unit from other forces and studies equilibrium independently. Okay, so now I am going to explain this point. So when we are going to study microeconomics, we have to consider that we have to study in detail about particular unit. When we are going to study about particular unit, हम किसी भी particular unit के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, study करते हैं, तो we are not going to consider about overall all things. We are going to focus on only one thing. हम only one thing पे focus करेंगे. For example, we will study only consumer, not a seller. We will study about particular firm. We are not going to study about different firm. So isolate means only individual unit. We are not going to consider those things which may be affect on that particular thing. Okay, that is called partial. Partial means very small part of the economy, small part of the particular thing, based on certain assumptions. So microeconomic theories are based on certain assumptions. So when we are going to explain any law of microeconomics, that time what we say, other things remain constant. What is the meaning of other things? For example, when we are going to explain the law of demand, हम अगर law of demand explain करते हैं तो उस समय हम क्या कहते हैं? Other things remain constant due to change in the price of commodity, the demand will be changed. For example, if the prices of goods are going to increase, demand for that goods will be decrease. Means there is a inverse relationship between demand and price. Means one thing is going to increase, other thing is going to be decrease. For example, prices are going to increase, demand is going to be decrease. Prices are going to decrease, demand is going to be increase. So there is inverse relationship between price and demand. So this is the law. ये लॉ है, अगर प्राइस कम होती है तो डिमांड इंक्रीज हो जाएगी, अगर प्राइस बढ़ती है तो डिमांड डिक्रीज हो जाएगी. ओके, सो अदर थिंग रिमेन कांस्टेंट मींस विच थिंग्स? फॉर एग्जांपल, those factor which affect on demand. For example, advertisement. There is no change in advertisement. Advertisement में कोई भी changes नहीं है. अगर heavy advertisement होती है अगर अपनी business की, तो demand obviously बढ़ने वाली है. अगर there is no advertisement, there will be no change in demand. So there are so many factors. For example, income. Higher the income, demand will be increased by the consumer, those persons whose income is increased. So there is no change. There is no change in advertisement, there is no change in income, there is no change in population, there is no change in climatic condition. So there is nothing change, only due to change in price. When we are going to explain the law of microeconomics, what we assume that ceteris paribus, it means that other thing remain constant. This is not exactly possible. ये possible नहीं है, मगर फिर भी हम ऐसा पढ़ेंगे. Okay, so next one is now what we assume that pure capitalism, full employment, these assumptions make the analysis simple. So when we are going to explain the law, these things very helpful for us to explain the law. हमें कौन सा भी अगर लॉ एक्सप्लेन करना है तो assumptions are very important. Without assumptions we cannot explain the law of any law of demand, law of DMU, law of supply, etc. So slicing method, what is the meaning of slicing? At least 3 to 4 points you have to read. So we are going to learn fifth point. So this point is also very important. This point may be asked for 2 marks. So slicing method, microeconomic use slicing method. It split or divide the whole economic unit into small individual unit and then study each unit separately in detail. So same explanation, या यहाँ पे हम सेम एक्सप्लेनेशन करेंगे. कौन सा? वी विल स्टडी इन डिटेल अबाउट पर्टिकुलर यूनिट. एक ही यूनिट हम चूज करेंगे और उसके बारे में हम डिटेल स्टडी करेंगे. वी विल नॉट स्टडी अदर फैक्टर विच मे बी इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन डिमांड, विच मे बी इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन आवर लॉ. सो ओनली वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ओनली वन यूनिट. So for example, individual income of national income, study of individual demand of aggregate demand. So when we are going to study about individual demand, we will not study about aggregate demand. When we are going to study about individual income, we will not study about national income. अगर हम पर्टिकुलर पर्सन के इनकम के बारे में अगर हम स्टडी करते हैं तो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन का ही इनकम हम स्टडी करेंगे. How he is going to increase his income. We will not study about national income. अगर पर्टिकुलर पर्सन की डिमांड हम के बारे में हम स्टडी करते हैं तो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन की डिमांड के बारे में ही हम सोचेंगे. एग्रीगेट डिमांड, टोटल डिमांड के बारे में हम सोचेंगे नहीं. ठीक है. एंड सिक्स्थ वन इज use of marginalism principle. So the marginalism means what do you know? Do you know what is marginalism? So the microeconomics theory is mostly based on marginalism principle. So marginalism means, I will explain you in detail. Oh, okay. Marginal analysis helps study variable through change. Producers and consumer take economic decision using this principle. Okay, so I will explain in detail. So marginal means what? So when we are going to increase the stock of consumption, अगर हम कोई भी चीज़ अगर कंज्यूम करते हैं, so we will get maximum satisfaction from first unit. For example, when I will read these books, from first topic from first problem I will get more and more satisfaction than second, and I will get less and less satisfaction as we increase my study. So here what is I'm going to say, marginalism means what? additional benefit which is derived from the additional consumption. For example, I will explain in detail. Suppose I take first glass of water, I will get more utility. Then second glass, I will consume second glass, third glass, fourth glass. As I increase stock of consumption, from every additional stock of consumption I will get less and less utility. अगर हम कोई भी चीज यूज करते हैं तो we will get more and more benefit, more or more satisfaction from first unit rather than second. So as we increase stock, then we get less utility. So this will study in microeconomics. Analysis of micro market structure. In microeconomics, we will study about perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. So all these things we will study in market. Okay, form of market. So there are basically on the basis of competition we can classified market. हम competition के basis पे market का classification कर सकते हैं. Perfect competition है, monopoly है, monopolistic competition है, oligopoly है. All these things we will study in detail in topic of form of market. Or okay, so what is perfect competition? I would like to explain here also. So perfect competition means what? इसको हम क्या कहते हैं मराठी में उसे कहते हैं पूर्ण स्पर्धा. ओके, सो परफेक्ट कंपटीशन मींस व्हेन देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ बायर्स एंड लॉट ऑफ सेलर्स, दे आर गोइंग टू सोल्ड होमोजेनियस गुड्स. इसका मतलब ये है परफेक्ट कंपटीशन का कि ऐसी मार्केट, ऐसा मार्केट जहाँ पे देर आर सो मेनी बायर, बहुत सारे बायर्स है, बहुत सारे सेलर्स है, एंड गुड्स they are going to buy or sell homogeneous, any same to same, there is no change. Okay, monopoly means when there is only one seller and there is no other seller, there is no other competitor. Mono means single and poly means seller. अगर एक ही सेलर मार्केट में अगर वो गुड्स सोल्ड करता है तो उसको हम कहेंगे मोनोपोली. एंड मोनोपोलिस्टिक कंपटीशन, इसका मतलब क्या है? फेयरली लार्ज नंबर ऑफ बायर्स, फेयरली लार्ज ऑफ नंबर ऑफ सेलर्स. बायर एंड सेलर है मगर बहुत अनलिमिटेड नहीं है, लार्ज है, बहुत सारे बायर्स है, बहुत सारे सेलर्स है, वी कैन काउंट. इट इज कॉल्ड monopolistic competition. And oligopoly means there are few sellers and few buyers. Okay, so limited scope. The scope of microeconomic is limited. Okay, the scope of microeconomic is limited, the scope of macroeconomic is unlimited. So we can write down this point in distinguish between microeconomics and macroeconomics. It does not deal with a nationwide economic problem. In this microeconomics we are not going to study large प्रॉब्लम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्टडी ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन, इन्फ्लेशन एंड डिफ्लेशन, तेजी और मंदी उसको कहते हैं हम, उसके बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे नहीं. बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट, इंपोर्ट कितना है, एक्सपोर्ट कितना है, नेगेटिव बैलेंस कितना है, पॉजिटिव बैलेंस कितना है, इसके बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे नहीं. ये हम पढ़ेंगे मगर कहाँ? We will study in macroeconomics. Poverty will not study here. We will study poverty, unemployment. This is nationwide problem. This is national problem. So we will not study. We will not study in microeconomics. Microeconomics में national poverty, national unemployment, इसके बारे में हम पढ़ने वाले नहीं हैं. पॉपुलेशन के बारे में पढ़ने वाले नहीं हैं. So we will study in macroeconomics. So thanking you. Please like my video, share my videos to your friend, so it will be enhance my motivation. It will be increase me, encourage. It will give me encouragement to create more and more video for you. So thanking you.